What's up, nerd fam? Okay, quick question. Does everybody here really think that there aren't any black characters? Because this is mind-boggling to me. People keep on saying this right now, and they think that the solution to this problem that's make-believe, by the way, is by taking white characters and transforming them into black ones. It doesn't make any sense. We have so many original black characters. Why are we not just focusing on those and putting them to the forefront and putting the time and effort into making those characters matter, rather than just saying, oh, hey, white character, make his skin black. They should be okay with it. And it's happening so much. You have like black Superman, black Flash, a black Batman, and a black Batwoman. It's lazy. Stop telling them it's okay to do that. It's also insulting. As a black person, I don't just look at heroes that look like me. That's not the only way I resonate with them. However, if you are going to have black heroes, villains, or whatever, make them nuanced and not monolithic, right? They shouldn't all think the same. They should be on different spectrums. And I am about to get into some black characters that for some reason you just knew they didn't exist. Right, now this is going to be for Marvel, if you haven't already guessed it, and this is going to be like part 1 of 3 for Marvel. So let's get started. The first character we're going to talk about is Blue Marvel, aka Adam Bashir. He is a Korean War veteran, got a PhD at Cornell, and got his powers when he was trying to like bridge our world with the negative zone. Those powers include flight, super strength, invulnerability, energy manipulation, molecular manipulation. So he's literally Superman, but with like more OP powers on top of it. It's really, really crazy. Now, he was actually active during the 60s. That's when he first got his powers. He put on a mask. It got ripped during a battle. Everyone found out he was black in the 60s. Wasn't a good thing. So JFK told him, hey, I love the work you're doing, but people just not going to appreciate you, so maybe you should retire. But before doing that, he saved the world from an alien armada and a interdimensional being called Infinite, where he went to go to the moon. S.H.I.E.L.D. sent an agent to go spy on him. He wound up marrying her. Unfortunately, after they had 3 kids, his best friend was actually the one that he actually did the experiment with, a white dude who actually really hated racism since they were together in the Korean War. Got even worse, especially when he developed, when he got his powers, which made him almost like Blue Marvel himself. He was like, not only do I hate racism, but I'm going to kill them all too. So Blue Marvel was pretty much like, look, you got to relax. You don't got to kill anyone. And he accidentally killed Blue Marvel's wife. Now, that just had a whole downward spiral, because after that, then his son, who was like his sidekick for a little bit, got lost to the negative zone, which made his second son turn into a supervillain because he blamed him. He's like, Mom died because of you. Kevin died because of you. It was crazy. It's crazy. But what I love about this character is that he's strong, smart, and he's complicated. And yeah, race had to do with the beginning of his story, but it's not the thread that ran through his entire storyline. Like, they always do that with black characters, like race, race, race. And it doesn't have to be the only thing that drives them. It's family and his failure to it, and just his pride as well. He's also like best friends with Uatu the Watcher, like one of the most powerful beings in the universe. That should kind of tell you how cool he is. He could get a movie or a series. I'm just scared that, you know, they try to like co-opt it with like something like modern right now, but his story is just perfect the way it is. The next character we talk about is Monica Rambeau. Now, she was actually the first woman Captain Marvel. It's actually not Carol Danvers. She was Miss Marvel first. Now, she didn't get her name from Marvel. The media actually called her Captain Marvel during that time because of her powers, which she got when she was doing like Harbor Patrol, and you know, she just wound up running into extra dimensional energy, which was like gave her flight, super strength, some invulnerability, and she's actually pretty damn smart. She's also the first African American heroine in the Avengers, and she actually led it for a little bit. Now, here's my biggest issue that happens with her character. I mean, number one, she had like 4 name changes, because after she had Captain Marvel, she gave Captain Marvel to Marvel's son, Genus Vale, and she became Photon, Pulse, and Spectrum, and all stuff like that. But the representation of her in media in the Captain Marvel movie, they made her a little girl, and a girl that didn't even look like the one from the comic, as well as the fact that she was raised by a single mother in the movie. In the comic book, she got both her parents. Why'd they do that? Why'd they make her like this stereotype? And then they kept making her call Carol Danvers Auntie Carol, where in the comic books, everyone calls Monica Rambeau Auntie Monica. It's crazy. No, at least in WandaVision that's about to come out right now, they have someone who looks more like her. cast as her, so we'll see how that goes. But yeah, she's pretty awesome. It's also interesting to note that Monica Rambeau ends up being in a relationship later on with Blue Marvel, but it wasn't forced. It was after all the tragedy that happened with his prior relationship and just her life and how they kind of just both became very compatible with each other. It wasn't shoehorned, like they weren't just forced together like, you know, two other very popular Black Marvel characters that just ended up being together. All right, let's get into some milestone heroes. A couple of these I know you definitely know, and some you might not. So here we go. We've got Lobo. Lobo was the first African-American hero to lead a comic from Dell Comics. He's pretty much a black cowboy just fighting random villains. He's almost like the spiritual ancestor to Django, if you will, except he's not just fighting slave masters. He's a cowboy. He's just fighting villains in general. And the N-word is not being used for shock value. Yeah, that annoyed me a little bit. Now, the next would be Black Panther, the first African character, first African superhero in a mainstream company, being Marvel, of course, right? Obviously, you know, King of Wakanda, T'Challa got the powers from that ritual with the heart-shaped herb. He's a genius, expert martial artist. Honestly, there's so many things to talk about with Black Panther that he's gonna get his own video, and he's done very well in the comics, whether he's being a member of the Illuminati, going head-to-head with Namor. He actually first appeared in a Fantastic Four comic. A lot of people don't know that. But you don't get a lot of his lore, and unfortunately, despite popular belief, the Black Panther movie does not do a very good job with him, and I'm going to have a whole video talking about that. The next character would be Luke Cage. Now, a lot of people know him from the Netflix series, but he's been around for a long time. He is the first African-American hero in the mainstream comic to have his own, like a title series, right? Now, obviously, his first outfit looks kind of like a runaway slave. Yeah, that was kind of weird. But he's evolved since then. He got his powers from experiments inside of a prison. Super strength, pretty much. Invulnerable skin. You've seen it in the show. The show got kind of like, mixed reviews, to say the least. But he's also the leader of the Mighty Avengers, which is actually a really, really cool team. Blue Marvel's actually on that team as well. So got some crossover stuff we got going on there as well. The next is another character that you've seen in the movies, but they don't really talk about what I'm about to talk about right now, and that is Falcon. Now, Falcon is an awesome character. He's the first African-American character in a mainstream comic book. He actually debuted in a Captain America comic. He also, when they wrote him, they actually explored some things that weren't really seen in an African-American character, which were, they showed like how like religious his parents were and him openly defying them, like not understanding Christianity. Wow, tongue-tied right there, right? He also was looking up like different religions as a young dude, like as a teenager. That's what he was doing. So it was great to like see like a young budding mind like that, and that wasn't just reserved for everyone else. His father died. He became a gang member named Snap Wilson. After that, he went to the military and then he got trapped on an island, and on that island he met Captain America and the Red Skull, and the Red Skull used the Cosmic Cube to give him those powers to communicate with Red Wing. That's the Falcon that he has, hence the name Falcon. Also, the wings that he has on him are made of vibranium. Black Panther made those. But all this stuff is not in the films. All you know about him now is that he's about to become Captain America in the show, and then in the movies he, was getting his ass dusted by Captain America and races, and all of a sudden 2 movies later he's about to be Captain America. They're best friends now. That's like, how is that good storytelling? Whereas literally they built that up for years. And also he was already Captain America in the comics, not just like right now, but in the 80s he also became Captain America briefly just to like cover for him when he just took a step down for a little bit. So they're revisiting something. Come on. Now, honestly, there are actually other characters who can wear the stars and stripes. That's really what you want to see, and it's not forced on them. It's not like you don't have to take away Falcon's original character to do that. And let me talk to you about these characters who would actually make much more sense to wear the stars and stripes. Rat Family is really a special family for me because they had some really cool characters. Isaiah Bradley back in World War II was one of 300 guys tested with the new super soldier serum after Cap disappeared, trying to recreate it all over again. Now, out of the 300 he survived, actually there was 1,000, the thousands of them 300 survived out of those 1,000, and then he was the only one to survive all the missions that they put them through. Now, when he went to Germany for like one last mission, he grabbed one of Captain America's old outfits and his shield, got captured by the Germans, saved by the Americans, and then got thrown in jail for stealing Captain America's outfit. Actually, pretty nuts, right? After that, while he's in jail, the super soldier serum is actually making him go crazy. So they take his DNA, like, you're gonna make another one of him. So they take his DNA and his wife's DNA and like put it in like a surrogate mother, and it makes his son Josiah X, who has the same powers as him, but like he's born with it, and he doesn't even know who his father is. Finds out later when he finds his sister, and after that happens, he actually forms his own superhero team called the Crew, which is him, War Machine, and another guy named Casper Cole, who was tricked by Eric Killmonger to eat the heart-shaped herb. It was like a artificial version of it, and he becomes somebody called White Tiger. He's actually a pretty interesting character as well. But after him, there's a third generation. That's Eli Bradley. Eli Bradley is the grandson of Isaiah Bradley. Now, he lies and tells everyone that he has his grandfather's powers, but he doesn't. He's actually taking like this steroid that gives him the powers, but then he gets shot up by a Hydra one time, and then he winds up needing a blood transfusion from his grandfather, and eventually he does get those powers. He becomes Patriot. He is the leader of the Young Avengers, and technically the seeds for the Young Avengers are actually in the MCU right now, so if they wanted to do that, they really could. And to be honest, this family right here, even though they're in the same vein as Captain America, the legacy is theirs. This is their own legacy, and it would make sense to see something like this in a show more than just taking Falcon, who's already his own character, and just making him into Captain America. I mean, I don't know if you agree, but this sounds like a much better story, does it not? The last few characters we're going to talk about in this video are from the X-Men. Now, usually when you think black characters in the X-Men, two usually immediately come to mind, right? Storm and Bishop. Now, Storm, obviously, very cool character, Omega level mutant, control weather, not just on the planet, but in other planets. No known limits for her. They thought she was a goddess back in Africa. She's got like African American and African parents, so she got that duality. It was kind of cool how they wrote that for her. And in the comics, she's done very well. Obviously, in the movies, they still have yet to cast someone who actually looks like her. Another issue with that. Hopefully, they fix that with the next casting, and hopefully, she doesn't end up in the Black Panther 2, because that coupling was very lazy, and I'll talk about that later on too. Now, the next character would be Bishop. Bishop comes from another future where pretty much mutants are all but dead, and his power is to redirect energy that shot at him back at you. Now, he can also do this passively too, so he can kind of just stand there and just gather energy and then direct it towards you as well. Now, he was also, he's done very well in the comic, and they tried in Days of Future Past movie. They tried, it wasn't the worst thing in the world, but still not the greatest. But those are the people who are usually mainstream. Let me talk to you about like 4 other ones that you might not know about. There's Synch. Synch actually appeared in like Generation X, so he helped save the mutants from this alien race called the Phalanx. His power is to pretty much duplicate the powers of anyone in his proximity, so that's actually a pretty cool power set. The next would be a gentleman called Prodigy. Now, Prodigy can learn pretty much any skill of anyone he comes in contact with, so it can be like, fighting, playing chess, how to cook, military strategy. So it makes him invaluable because he also knows how to use people's powers. He can teach you how to use them. That makes him invaluable at the Institute for Xavier, right? It's an excellent character there. Now, he's also part of you'll see him in New Mutants as well. Now, there's another character, Cecilia Reyes. She's awesome. She has a PhD. She's a PhD, right? And after her father died, she decided, she wanted to save people. She also has the power to produce a force field and pretty much use it offensively too as well. Now, her character is interesting because she didn't want to be known as just a mutant. She wanted to be known as a doctor. That's very, very important to her identity as well. However, I know you see these pictures right now, but look who they have playing her in the New Mutants movie. Yeah. The reason why I'm showing you this is if you think that they can only switch characters from white to black, understand it could work the other way around. So don't open that door so stuff like this does not happen. It works both ways. They can do the same thing with us. So just don't open that door. Please, just don't open that door at all. And the last being another one called Oya. Now, she is actually a Nigerian mutant who has the powers of like fire and ice, kind of like Todoroki. Anyone likes My Hero Academia, and she like destroyed her whole village. They thought she was a monster. They tried to kill her, and she wound up killing the people who came after her. Secondly, they got her out of there, and her mentor is #1 mentor is Wolverine, because Wolverine understands like how to tame the animal inside, and that's how she feels. And it's actually very important to have a woman character, specifically a black woman character, who a lot of them have been villains when they are like bestial, but she kind of like embraces it and tries to come to terms with how powerful she is and how destructive she is, and looks towards someone else as a mentor to just accept it. And that's actually really cool as a character. I guess I can include one more. Her name is Murmur. She's from Alpha Flight, which is pretty much a Canadian government run X-Men. Like pretty much she has the power to control anyone if she puts her hands on them, and she was pretty much brought in to control her teammate Sasquatch, because he used to go crazy all the time. He still did, but whenever she was there, she could control him. She can actually reverse the control over like really powerful psionic mutants like Mesmer as well. So yeah, pretty awesome. All right, everyone, this is the first of many in this series of videos, because I honestly do want people to know there are tons of black characters out there. There is no need for a power swap. There's no need just to change the skin color of any other character. We have tons of original characters that need to be promoted. Say that to these writers. Urge these writers to do that. Don't be lazy. Don't just change the skin color. Actually put time and effort into original black characters. That's what needs to happen, okay? So, subscribe to the channel. Tell me how you feel about these characters, and I hope you learned a lot. Into the nerd.